Hi and welcome to Lois and Morgana Davidson Art. Today I'm going to be sharing an old demo with you which I think is a great example of what I do if I want to use up old paint that's left over on my palette. As a lot of you know, I like to squeeze fresh paint out from the tubes for every painting, or at least every new painting with a different set of colours. But that doesn't mean that I waste my paint in between that time. What I do is I use the leftover paint on my palette for experiments like these, where I mix all the colours up. I spray the paint to start with just to sort of wet the old paint up, and then I'll paint a very neutral background by mixing all the colours together. And of course, I never know exactly what the shade of paint will be, or the shades that I will mix up from the leftover paint. It will be dependent on the colours that I've been painting with previously, but it's a really good exercise in practicing washes and practicing making the best of what happens on the page. Reacting spontaneously to what happens on the paper and seeing what you can make out of it. And this is really good practice for lots of techniques such as wet in wet, wet on dry, sort of painting soft and hard edges, getting a balance between tonal values and contrasts. So it's a great exercise and one I highly recommend. I've sped up the footage so that you can get a sort of good idea of the process. And so it's literally just mixing up all the paint that's left over. Any colours that you've got will do. And of course, you'll get different colours or different neutrals according to which colours you have left over. But it can be quite interesting just to see what you can make out of scenes like this that you may think would be quite dull, but in actual fact, a muted palette is a really nice way to work. These sort of desaturated colours that come from colour mixing all your colours together, browns, greens, greys, are really useful for making some quite moody paintings. So I've got my initial wash down, I've laid my board flat and left it to dry, and I've decided to create an urban scene. So I'm going to go in and paint a couple of figures sheltering under an umbrella using my flat brush and my small calligraphy brush. And then I shall add some buildings in the background, just suggestions of them in the rain, and a lamppost. So I'll let you watch this happening, but just bear in mind this sort of exercise, you can turn the painting into anything that you want, and it's a really good way to just stimulate your imagination and your creativity, as well as practicing your techniques. There's a full narration with the original posting of this demo, and I shall leave a link to that in the description below if you're interested. So just darkening up the umbrella, and I darkened up the corner of the reflections. And now I'm going to peel the tape off and see how it looks with its clean white border, and that will help me to see whether I need to do anything else to it. And I hope you enjoyed watching this way of using up paint that's left over on your palette and using it as an exercise, a warm-up exercise, or something to loosen up with, or something just to try out if you've got painter's block. So I've just decided I need to add a bit more darker tone into the umbrella and to one of the women's heads. And I really think that this is a really effective use of this kind of neutral desaturated colour that will occur when you just mix up any old colours. I think the colours that I had here were Prussian blue, perylene green, burnt sienna, raw sienna, sepia, maybe some indigo and paynes grey, my usual colours here. And they've just created this beautiful sludgy greenish grey, which I've obviously built up different tonal values. And I think that's the beauty of this sort of exercise, is practicing all these techniques like wet in wet, wet on dry, and soft and hard edges, value contrasts. You can get so much from this sort of exercise, but most important of all, it's a great way of getting better value from your paints so that you're able to use up even the strangest colour combinations. And of course, you can always paint on the back of your paintings too for practice. So these are ways in which we can kind of cut down the cost of our artists' materials, and also I think really make some good leaps of progress with these various techniques. Well, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow the link below if you want to watch the full narration for this demo, and please let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do more paintings using up the old paint from my palette, because I'm more than happy to do that in future demos. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave us a like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And thank you so much to everyone that supports the channel on Patreon. If you'd like to support the channel, then please follow the links below. Many thanks again. Take care and happy painting. Bye.